In a quiet village tucked between rolling hills and whispering woods, there lived a kind and curious girl named Elara. Her hair was the color of autumn leaves, and her eyes sparkled like the stars she loved to watch every night. Elara's favorite place in all the world was her grandmother's old stone cottage on the very edge of the forest. Whenever she could, Elara would wander into the woods behind the cottage, always hoping to find something magical hidden among the trees. One warm afternoon, as the sun poured golden light through the leafy branches, Elara's wandering feet brought her deeper than ever before. She hummed softly, brushing her fingers over ferns and wildflowers, when something unusual caught her eye. There, half buried under a blanket of ivy, was an old wooden gate she had never seen before. Vines wrapped around its frame like gentle arms, tiny white flowers blooming where the wood had grown soft with age. Something about the gate called to her heart, as if it wanted her to step through and discover what lay beyond. With a small breath and a braver heart, Elara pushed the gate open, and a soft, magical light spilled out like sunshine in the moonlight. Beyond the gate, Elara stepped into the most enchanting garden she had ever seen. Flowers of every shape and color bloomed all around her. Some glowed with a soft light, while others seemed to hum and sing when the wind danced through their petals. Tiny lights drifted through the air like gentle fireflies, and a small pond shimmered in the middle, its water clearer than crystal. Elara stood very still, turning slowly to take it all in. She felt like she had stepped into a dream woven by the forest itself. Near the pond, resting on a flat stone, was a large turtle with a shell covered in soft moss and tiny flowers. He looked up at Elara with warm, wise eyes and spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "Welcome, Elara," he said. "I am Willow, the keeper of this secret garden." Elara blinked in surprise. "You can talk," she gasped, kneeling down to hear him better. Willow chuckled, his shell gently bobbing. "This is a place of ancient magic. Here, even a turtle can tell stories." Willow told Elara that long ago, the oldest spirits of the forest had planted this secret garden to protect nature's balance and beauty. It bloomed only for those with kind and caring hearts, the ones who could hear the songs in the wind and see the stories in the stars. Elara's eyes shone as Willow's words painted pictures in her mind, a hidden world where flowers sang, animals spoke, and magic lived quietly, waiting for someone to listen. Willow lowered his voice and told her something special. "The garden needs a new keeper, someone gentle and brave enough to protect it. I am old, Elara, and my time as keeper is almost done. If you wish, you can care for it, but you must first pass 3 gentle tests." Elara's heart fluttered like a bird. She looked around at the glowing flowers and the soft pond and knew, without a doubt, that she would do whatever it took. "I promise, Willow," she whispered. "I will protect this place." Willow smiled and gave her a tiny wooden staff. "Then your journey begins, keeper." For her first task, Elara stepped deeper into the enchanted woods to find the hidden songbird. Willow said it would only appear when the heart was true and the mind was kind. As she walked under towering trees that whispered secrets to the wind, she hummed a tune her grandmother once sang to her. The deeper she went, the softer the forest grew, until she heard a clear, sweet note. There, beneath a blooming bush, was a tiny blue songbird, feathers sparkling like the dawn sky. It sang for her alone. Elara gently cupped her hands, and the bird hopped on her finger, singing a melody that made her feel braver than before. She thanked the bird, who flitted away into the leaves, leaving a trail of tiny lights behind. Next, Elara followed the sound of trickling water until she found a clear, gentle stream. Beside it lay a small fawn, its leg caught under a fallen branch. The fawn's eyes were wide with fear, but when Elara spoke softly, it calmed. She carefully lifted the branch and found forest herbs nearby, just as Willow had taught her. She wrapped the herbs around the fawn's leg with soft vines and tiny flowers. When she finished, the fawn rose shakily, nuzzled her cheek, and bounded off into the trees, whole and free once more. For her final test, Elara found herself standing before a narrow bridge stretching over a deep ravine filled with glowing mist. The bridge shimmered like spun moonlight but seemed so thin and fragile. Elara felt fear curl in her chest. What if she slipped? What if she fell? But then she felt the tiny wooden staff in her hand and remembered Willow's words, "Courage grows when you choose kindness over fear." With slow steps, she crossed the bridge. The mist curled and parted around her, as if the garden itself was guiding her safely across. On the other side stood the heart tree, ancient and wise, its roots glowing softly like starlight woven into bark and leaves. Elara placed her hand on its trunk. Warmth spread through her fingers and filled her whole heart. The heart tree showed her visions, forests blooming for generations, animals living safely under its watch, and children learning its secrets long after she was gone. When the vision faded, the heart tree gifted her a tiny seed of light, small enough to fit in her palm but glowing bright with endless hope. Elara returned to Willow, who waited by the pond under the moonlight. She knelt beside him and showed him the seed. "Then it is true," Willow said, smiling wide. "You are ready, Elara." She planted the seed at the garden's heart. As her fingers pressed it into the earth, new flowers bloomed instantly, petals like tiny lanterns, lighting the garden brighter than ever before. One by one, the forest animals gathered, rabbits with twitching noses, birds with shining feathers, deer stepping gently between glowing flowers. They circled Elara and Willow, bowing their heads in quiet thanks. Birds landed on Elara's shoulders, and tiny rabbits nestled at her feet. The garden had found its new keeper. From that day on, Elara visited the secret garden every evening. She watered the flowers, spoke to the animals, and sat under the heart tree, listening to the stories whispered in the breeze. And when many seasons passed, Elara, now older and wiser, brought other children to the garden's hidden gate. She told them tales of Willow, the songbird, the brave crossing of the misty bridge, and the promise that kindness keeps magic alive. Together, the children planted new flowers under the starlight, their laughter drifting through the trees like music. And so, the secret garden of Liora bloomed on, protected by gentle hearts, brave steps, and dreams whispered to the stars above. Friends, by liking resources and subscribing to the channel that offer helpful information, you can grow and improve.